evil.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone, situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we are searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of their mission.
Haven't found it yet?
No, not yet, Brett. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. The Bravo Team was sent in to investigate, but we lost contact.
Look, Chris!
Bravo Team's helicopter was a derelict. Save for the remaining body of Kevin. We continued our search for the other members, and it turned into a nightmare.
This way. Damn it! Make for that mansion!
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Barry, and myself. We don't know where Chris is.
What is this place?
Not quite your ordinary house, that's for sure.
Hey, Wesker, where's Chris?
Jill, no! You don't want to go back out there.
But we've got to find...
What was that?
Chris?
No.
Jill, go and investigate.
I'm going with her. Chris and I go back a long way.
All right. You two go. I'll secure this area.
Stay sharp. A dining room.
Hello everyone. This is a no save, no damage run.
That gunfire. I'm counting on you to investigate, Jill.
Sure thing, Wesker.
Of Resident Evil HD Remaster.
Got cold feet already? That's not like you.
completed this run as Jill on real survival mode, and I got the best ending in the process.
I think you'd better take a look at this.
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Let's just hope it's not Chris's.
Who is it?
You! Freeze! Get away from him, Jill! He's insane! What the hell?
We better report this to Wesker.
Wesker! Jill, help me look for him. Let's not leave this hall.
Good idea.
Moving up and down the stairs will advance the events.
Barry.
Any luck, Jill?
No, nothing. What's going on around here? I can't figure it out.
Same here.
Chris, and now Wesker.
There's not much we can do. We can search for him separately. I'll investigate the dining room again.
Okay, then. I'll try the door on the other side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could easily get lost. Let's start from the first floor.
Okay.
Oh! I almost forgot. It's a lockpick. You'd make better use of it.
Thanks. I may need it.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. Got it?
Okay.
So the first thing you may have noticed is the alternate cutscene. You can get that by going back out into the main hall, then trying to go back out into the main hall again, and then Barry will ask if you have cold feet. Then you go talk to Barry, and then you try to go back to the main hall again, and then the zombie will just come to you. It's the game's way of saying, man, why didn't you fucking listen? Here. We'll just throw the first scare your way. And you're just not even gonna run into it. So first and foremost, go ahead and shoot that zombie. Just to go ahead and knock him down. And do the same with this one over here as well. Because Jill doesn't have to go toward the kitchen in the mansion's basement on account of having a lockpick, she can actually get away with shooting the extra zombie by the gold arrow. "18 bullets is enough to deal with the zombies in the graveyard as well. It's recommended for the most part, because of Crimson Heads, that you down a zombie but you don't kill it, in order to be able to pass around it. Excuse me. The zombies in the graveyard here do not resurrect. That's mostly because Elder Crimson Head spawns here later regardless. The first thing you are going to notice about the way I play the game is the weird walking animation on the steps. That's because I am holding up on the D-pad and mashing the run button. It's a trick called stair skating, and it allows you to move up and down the stairs really fast. This isn't a speedrun, but I still stair skate anyway out of force of habit. And because the regular stair animation would just take forever otherwise. It's like if I can do it, then there's no reason not to do it. Especially when I'm going through as many resets as I had to get this run. I recorded this run over the course of maybe 3 days. Which was a little bit more than the Chris Real Survival No Save No Damage run that I did. Which took me an evening of routing and like 1 day's worth of attempts. So there's a dagger under the shelf there that you can push. That's also your first defense item. So the handgun is pretty much useless now. The handgun was really only necessary to down a few zombies. Defense items and shotgun shells are going to be your main method of getting around zombies. And Jill gets the shotgun pretty much right off the bat. Oh, jump scare. Just kidding. I'm not PewDiePie. So, certain zombies you have to kill, and certain zombies you do not kill, based on when you backtrack through the mansion in order to pick up certain things. But in general, you shouldn't have to backtrack so much. The zombies in the graveyard, you can just go ahead and kill, but the ones in the red arrow hallway, I kill them because I'm not going through that particular section of the hallway ever again. So I can completely avoid the Crimson Heads even though I'm in the same room with them.
What did I do now? Wesker! Barry! Help!
Jill! You in there?
Barry? Get me out of here! The door's jammed!
Stand back! Grab my hand!
Barry.
That was a close one. A second late, you would have fit nicely into a sandwich.
Really? Thanks. But Barry, didn't you say you were going back to the dining room to find other clues? I'm glad and all, but why are you here?
I just had something I wanted to check. Anyway, we should get back to searching for Wesker and Chris.
Thanks, Barry. I owe you one.
Don't mention it.
So the Jill sandwich line is gone. Forever. This zombie has a very, very high chance, a very high decap rate. So we're gonna go ahead and decapitate him. Even so, even if you don't decapitate him, we're still gonna get out of the mansion before he comes back as a Crimson Head regardless. And even if he got up as a Crimson Head, we could just run around him anyway. These two zombies over here, we're just gonna go ahead and evade. You could go ahead and leg shot them if you don't feel confident dodging around them. I would recommend leg shots, by the way, because they down a zombie instantly, and in general, they don't kill zombies. Or you could just use defense items, because Jill should have 3 daggers at this point.
Barry.
Jill, got any good news?
Other than I'm still alive in this madhouse? No.
Can't say it's much safer here either. We'd better secure our escape route first. There's gotta be a back door somewhere.
All right then, let's split up again.
Hey, hold on a sec. Look what I've found.
What?
A can of fizz. It's sure to yellow and mellow those things. It's yours. Hopefully you won't have to use it.
What about you?
Oh, don't worry. I like the buddy system we have here.
I see. Thanks, I'll take it.
See you later.
Ciao.
I love Jill's reaction to Barry's buddy system comment. It's like Barry was a little too infatuated with his gun there. So we absolutely want the shotgun for the dogs coming up. Just huddle yourself into the corner, and whenever the dog attacks, you can tech them out of their attack with a shotgun blast. Sometimes the dogs recover quickly. But one thing that you should learn to do as quickly as possible is learn how to pump cancel. Pump canceling is when you drop your aim after firing, and then you move forward immediately after. It will subsequently skip the pumping of the shotgun animation and allow you to re-raise your weapon and fire again, allowing you to rapid fire shotguns, the grenade launcher, even the rocket launcher if you unlock it. I will upload a tutorial video, rather re-upload the tutorial video that I had on my old channel. That will be one of a few re-uploads that I make from my old channel, but anyway. Take the real key, replace it with the fake key that you got from the dogs, and then we're gonna go directly to Richard. There's an extra dagger on the bench there. And also the dead body of Forrest. Which also has the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher is a minor boss killer weapon.
Richard! What happened? You're wounded!
This whole place is a killing zone. There are monsters.
What did this to you?
A big snake. And it had to be poisonous.
Poisonous? Richard, hold on.
Bring me serum. I saw some, but didn't bring any.
I'll go and get it, okay? You're gonna make it.
Thanks.
So anytime you see me kill a zombie, once again, it's usually because I'm not going to be passing through a particular area ever again, or the zombies are going to despawn whenever I come back to the mansion later. So that zombie on the ground there, not going to worry about him ever again. Because there is an event where hunters populate this stairwell later, and this is the last time that we visit this room for the rest of Mansion 1. So because we're going to be using the grenade launcher on Jan later, I decided to go ahead and just drop it here, because there are going to be much better weapons that we get. If you have the defense items to spare, don't be afraid to use them to get around any of the zombies that you see me just dodge around out of force of habit. I generally dodge around them out of force of habit because this is a no save run, on top of it being no damage. If you go into the Keeper's room, you could find a stun gun, but because you have to dodge around 2 zombies, it's actually quite risky and not worth it. There is a 100% consistent dodge, but if you mess it up, then you will just wind up wasting 2 defense items for a defense item you don't actually need.
Here, Richard. I'm gonna give you a shot. Hang in there.
Jill, here's my radio. Take it. Does it ever not hurt?
So going for the music notes, I generally only decapitate zombies if they take a dagger, because then I can get the dagger back if I use a shotgun shell. Pretty handy trick. So now that zombie won't come into the dining room because I decapitated him, but we still have to deal with this guy. In case you were wondering what control scheme I use the alt control scheme. Really, all alternate controls change is the mapping of the left analog stick. The D-pad still remains tank controls, but the left analog stick is analog movement. I don't understand why you would ever want to play tank with an analog stick anyway, but basically, whenever I play this game, I use a combination of both D-pad for tank and analog stick for the tilt move control scheme. It allows me for some quick turning, and also I dodge around zombies a little faster that way. So, another zombie here. He's not always very nice, so gonna go ahead and decapitate him. Attempt to decapitate him anyway. I didn't decapitate him, but when we come back into this hallway, he is either going to be a Crimson Head and not rise, or he is going to be a Crimson Head, but he will never actually chase us and get to us whenever we go to fight the snake a second time. So just as long as you don't run back in the direction of the piano whenever you re-enter that room, you shouldn't have to worry about the Crimson Head. So with this, we're going to go encounter Jan and get the other death mask. To solve this puzzle, just turn the large gear to the left twice. The solution is on the painting directly to your left. The long hand, or the minute hand, should be going through the helmet, the red helmet, and the hour hand should be going through the green armor plate. Also, yes, that is Jill's Resident Evil 3 costume. You unlock it by completing the game twice on the same save file.
Payback time.
So our objective here is to get the death mask, but also get Richard's assault shotgun. We can do that by luring Jan around the columns. I generally try to stay near the upper side of the column, particularly so Jan's tracking is forced to go around the column, because Jan could actually go left or right depending on your position. Like he did there, that actually kind of scared me a little bit. Thought I was going to lose the run over something so stupid because I ran around the column a little too fast instead of waiting for him. But Jan's hitbox is also a colossal amount of bullshit. He's got teeth in the back of his head.
Thanks.
Richard!
If you run straight for the shotgun, holding the D-pad up, maybe edging to the right a little bit, then the snake won't get you from there. It takes 12 shotgun shells from Richard to get Jan out of that first phase and allow you to dodge around him. We're not going to be using this shotgun for much longer, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the last 2 shells. Also, unequipping your gun or only equipping a knife is going to be way faster than equipping any weapon of any kind. By about 5% or so. It's also a lot easier to move in a straight line if you're using tank controls if you have your gun unequipped, because the character's hands are at their side. Stances are a little weird in Resident Evil. Honestly, I would never be able to run around with a gun equipped because it just feels so weird to me. To dodge that zombie coming back, what you do is you move towards him, and when you see him start to turn, edge towards the left. And he will always turn that direction every time. I think I may have had a little bit of an inventory mess up here, just a little bit. Or maybe I didn't, actually. No, I definitely didn't. So we have to take the fish hook. Don't pick it up. Good. And then take the lure of a bee. Then combine the lure of the bee with the fish hook. Also, I don't think that bees would make very good bait. Or maybe they do, because if you hook a bee, maybe you can use the stinger as another hook or something. It's a little riskier to grab the wind crest here, because sometimes that bee will actually sting you. Because Jill doesn't throw the bee on the ground, the bee's spawn is like a lot closer. And I've actually had it sting me on accident a couple of times. Fortunately, none of those times were during these attempts, because I used alt controls to go directly out of the room after grabbing the wind crest. But it was kind of a problem whenever I tried to do no damage runs on the GameCube version. So anyway, we're going to flick the first switch to turn the Painting of the Night orange. We'll turn the sage purple, and we'll turn the other guy, the guy wearing the crown, we'll turn that green. I think he's like a prince or something? I don't know. I wasn't reading fast enough. But you just have to make it match the picture. Not a hard puzzle at all. The Magnum is pretty much essential to killing Black Tiger in particular, and also to fighting hunters. So that is why we go ahead and get the wind crest here, so that we can get the Magnum. As it turns out, I saved those 2 shotgun shells specifically to kill crows, because the assault shotgun that you get from Richard has a higher decapitation rate, 70% as opposed to 60%. It has more ammo, and it also has a lot more power, so I just wanted to save at least a couple of those shotgun shells where I could, even though I'm at quite a large surplus by the time I'm done with the game. So for Elder Crimson Head, it takes anywhere between 3 to 5 assault shotgun shells. Unfortunately, the assault shotgun actually has a fairly high crit rate. So if you press down to angle towards the zombie, towards the Crimson Head, and you pump cancel him, there's a fairly high chance that you'll be able to stun loop him like I did there. But if he doesn't stun loop, then what you would do is you would break off and wait for him to attack, wait for him to whiff, and then you just like nudge towards him and fire again. And at that proximity, it should result in a stun. It usually does. I messed up there by equipping the regular shotgun. I should have just used the assault shotgun on that zombie. For the red weather vane, point it west.
Somebody respond. Over.
Barry?
Monster. James. Gun. Ineffective. It's it. Stay away. Forest outside mansion. Stay. Hey.
Then point the other blue weather vane to the north.
The money in your pockets. the money.
So, it's a lot easier to kill these crows here because they do aggro whether or not you walk through to do the puzzle or not. So I start by shooting the first two crows toward the camera. Just aim the gun toward the camera. And then I shoot them. Then the next two crows that come out off screen, you can barely see them clipping at the top. But if you see one crow and you aim down the lane, then you aim up, then you'll take out all three. But you have to be fast. It has to be as soon as you see them. So for Lisa, the easiest way to get around her without taking damage is to just shoot her 3 times with the Magnum. You could dodge her, but that's actually really hard. I would not recommend it. It's okay to actually use 3 Magnum bullets to dodge her.
Just give me a sign. Anything.
Jill to Brad, can you hear me? Shit, it's broken.
So at close range, one blast from the assault shotgun will kill a dog. So what I like to do for this particular section, because dogs are really random, is I try to walk around a little bit and try not to aggro them. Of course, I almost messed it up there. It wasn't a direct blast, so it didn't kill that dog. but it killed one of them. I don't understand why they decided to sample monkeys for the sound effects of the dogs, but no big deal, I suppose. So generally you can get the red book and exit before the spider comes down. But at this camera frame, what you want to do is you want to check and make sure that the spider is not going to come around the corner and decide to do a quick acid. If the spider does a quick acid, just like a quick spit of acid, he doesn't like bubble up or anything, then it's going to be unpredictable and undodgeable, so you kind of have to be ready for it. Fortunately, he only seems to quick acid when he's around that corner, and the corner just eats the acid. So if you wait it out for a little bit, then you can pass to the door.
No, that wasn't part of our deal.
Like I said,
But it's not necessary to destroy stars.
don't be a hard dog to get into the place, Barry.
What about my family?
I will guarantee their safety.
If I play my cards right. Jill!
Barry, I heard someone talking.
Oh, you heard. I think age is starting to take its toll. Talking to myself is becoming a bad habit.
Talking to yourself? You all right? What's gotten into you?
I'm getting you worried, aren't I? But don't, I'm alright. I guess this creepy mansion has gotten to my nerves. Anyway, I think I'll go outside, get some fresh air for a change. Don't worry, I'm just going to get some fresh air. If I'm lucky, I'll get to waste some monsters along the way.
So after this cutscene, we're going to go into the bathroom. And on this... Every so often, whenever you trigger this camera angle, you'll hear a door closing behind you. And of course, it's this guy. I would recommend that you just throw a dagger in his face and go the other way. You could exit the bathroom pretty fast, but then he'll be in the hallway. And actually, it's better that he's in the bathroom. For a speedrun, obviously, you're going to just let him stay in a hallway and just keep running around him, but because this is a no damage run, we want to mitigate our risk as much as possible. So we'll just trap him in the bathroom and shove a dagger in his face so we only have to pass around him once. The self-defense gun is a one-shot magnum. It's not really as powerful as Barry's 44, but it is marginally stronger than the magnum you have in your inventory. Than the magnum you get from the tombstone puzzle, that is. The reason I decided to get it is for the sharks. Because it does kill most enemies in one hit. Okay, so the sharks. Because there is no consistent way to pass around them, the only thing that you can really do is shoot them. We got enough ammo for that. We're not even going to fight Plant 42. We don't need to, because Jill can just outright skip Plant 42. Had a little bit of difficulty locating the other shark until I realized that I actually killed both of them in one of the same shotgun blasts that I used to shoot the first one. I actually did not practice this section, so I just kind of winged it. I just wanted to be done with it. Of course, you don't want to take too long there, otherwise our good buddy Neptune will come out of the water and try to swallow you whole.
Emergency. Unknown source of pressure detected. Locking all doors to achieve maximum safety.
Start by releasing the lock on the pressure shelter.
Reaching 30% of pressure threshold.
Then pull the lever on the left down. After that, check the whiteboard, and it'll tell you which valve to open.
Reaching 50% of pressure threshold. Activate
then you press right
emergency drainage system immediately.
once again, press left once again. And now the shutters are down, and now you can drain the water. There's 6 Magnum rounds here. Gonna use those on hunters. Electrocuting the shark is really easy, but so is the Neptune skip, if you've practiced it. Neptune skip works 100% of the time. Just drop down into the water, hold up and left, and then straighten out before Neptune attacks. And then mash X to grab the key. Or mash the confirm button to get the key. Then you can leave from there. Or you could stab Neptune to death if you're feeling particularly sadistic. So next up we're going to grab the insect repellent and the V-Jolt. Did a little bit of an inventory check here, and as it turns out, I had 2 goddamn many items in my inventory. So here I am debating, what should I get rid of first? And so what I did was I went ahead and did all of the stuff to drop off the red book and get that out of my inventory so that I can mix the V-Jolt. After you grab the map, the best way to scroll through the text is to mash the run button instead of the confirm button, because if you mash the confirm button to scroll through the text, then you will accidentally examine the hole. And if you examine the hole before you've pumped poison into it, then bees will come out. And bees are no bueno. Well, technically not bees, more like Japanese hornets, but same difference. So before we enter that room, if Jill uses the V-Jolt, regardless of which path you took with Barry cutscenes in the mansion, then Barry will come in and kill Plant 42. So Jill gets to skip Plant 42 for free. Granted, it's not terribly difficult to beat Plant 42 otherwise. Because this is a no save, no damage run, I wanted to mitigate my risk as much as possible, so I just went ahead and dodged around Plant 42 by using the V-Jolt. So, to mix up the V-Jolt, grab a bottle of UMB number 6, a bottle of water, and a bottle of UMB number 3. And then what you do is you combine 1, which is water, and 3 in order to get 4. Then you combine 4 with 6 to get 10. Then you grab another bottle of UMB number 6 and another bottle of water, and you mix 1 and 6 to get 7. Then you combine 10 and 7, and then after that is 3 left over to make the V-Jolt. So you get UMB number 3 and combine that, and then you have V-Jolt. You can only mix the chemicals in the room where you obtain them. You won't be able to mix the chemicals in front of Plant 42, because it'll be quote-unquote too dangerous. And it's actually quite a backtrack to be able to kill Plant 42's root. I gotta admit though, I really do like what Capcom did with this whole area of the game, because it was pretty short-lived and mundane in the PlayStation version, but it's also one of those things that just completely fucks with your expectations if you played the game the first time. While this is my favorite Resident Evil game, I believe that the experience of playing Remake is a little incomplete if you haven't played the first Resident Evil game. Because there are a lot of design decisions that actually work against people that have completed RE1 and try to bring that knowledge with them into the remake of the game. Such as this area being a whole lot of nothing. The sharks are actually threatening. That's pretty much it for the guardhouse. All we have to do is visit the Plant 42 room and get the helmet key.
What the hell is this thing?
Barry!
Jill!
I thought it was finished.
Yeah.
That was close. Thanks again.
Don't mention it. But what was that? What the hell's going on in this place?
Should you choose to fight the plant, it will take 5 magnum rounds to kill it. Just go to the very top stairs and fire off 3 magnum rounds at the first phase, and then the second phase is 2 more magnum rounds, but you have to line up your shot accordingly. You could do that by going into the map and pointing Jill's arrow at the center of the room.
Wesker!
Jill, so you're safe.
That's what I was going to say.
I apologize. It was all I could do to protect myself against those strange creatures.
I understand. Anyway, it's good that you're safe.
Did you notice? Barry, he sounded a little flaky.
Now that you mention it, yeah. I'll keep a close eye.
Maybe it's quite natural under these circumstances. It's not really our standard operation. Jill, our first priority is to get out of here.
I agree.
There are still rooms in that mansion we can't get into because they're locked up. I've been looking for ways to...
Okay, if there's anything, I'll go back to the other mansion.
I'm counting on you.
So a question I get occasionally asked about Resident Evil HD Remaster, especially on PC, is what are the differences in gameplay? Are there any differences in gameplay that affect speedruns or anything like that between the original version?
This is Brad. Come in, Stars Alpha Team. Come in.
This is Jill.
And the PC
Hear
version?
me?
I hear you, Brad. Over.
Stars Alpha Team. Bravo Team. Doesn't matter. Respond. I repeat, this is Brad.
Brad? Brad!
This is Brad. If you can't answer me, somehow give me a sign.
Jill to Brad. Can you hear me? Brad! Brad! Shit. It's broken.
It mostly has to do with the frame rate. I decided to just go ahead and kill these dogs here because I didn't want to risk a Borf bullet happening and ruining the run. Sometimes the dogs just like leap into the air and hit you for no reason at all. So it's better to just go ahead and kill them in that case. So I went ahead and killed that snake there. You can see the snake at the bottom next to the little light post there, so that I can hug the corner and clip around it. It's not too terribly hard to just dodge around the snake, but it requires a fair bit of practice. This doesn't. But yeah, the differences between the original GameCube version and this one are mostly the controls and the AI. At higher frame rates, especially on the PC version, the AI actually changes. Even though they're all in the same initial positions, the AI still changes drastically, especially for a lot of the dodges. This is what we saved the self-defense gun for, is for that first hunter there. Because the self-defense gun kills hunters in one shot. And in the event that the Magnum does not kill a hunter in one shot, which it has a very high chance of doing, then follow up with a shotgun shell, and that should be enough. So now we're going to drop the crank, the Magnum, and the Magnum rounds in the box here, and take the shotgun with us. We don't actually need the Magnum rounds or the Magnum for anything coming up, because we're actually not really going to fight any of the hunters coming up. Those are the only two hunters that you really need to fight, because that room is a colossal pain in the ass. Especially since you need to come back to that save room maybe a couple more times before the end of the game. So it helps to have those hunters dead. In general, if you take advantage of basic hunter positions and things like manipulating the hunter's quick turn, then you can actually get them to spin around and scream like an idiot while you're already a million miles ahead of them. Or sometimes just outright squeeze around them before they have a chance to hit you. Hunters can only do a one-hit kill if you are at caution health or below. It's usually followed up after a slash to the foot. If you hear like that, then what you should do is you should run towards the hunter. Don't run away from the hunter, because when the hunter dashes and decapitates, you will not be able to avoid it, because the hunter simply goes way too fast. The one-hit kill happens regardless once the attack comes out. I'd recommend using defense items on these guys, by the way. Don't even worry about shooting them. You can just murk that zombie around the table over there. But it does like a scream, like a "Row!" And then it just dashes at you. If that attack comes out, even if you heal, it's still going to decapitate you. Well, not really decapitate. It decapitated in the original Resident Evil, but in Remake, not so much. They actually tamed it down quite a bit, but that's also probably because they couldn't really do like a lot of the explodey sort of special effects that they did in the original 32-bit games. They were quite liberal with explosions and blood and gore in the original games. But it would probably cost a lot more money to make similar effects in the remake. So what we're going to do here is drop off the assault shotgun and the magnum rounds here, get the grenade launcher. And we're going to go ahead and get the jewels. This way we can fight the snake with acid rounds, which is going to be the most ammo efficient way to fight the boss. You could also use the grenade rounds to mop up any zombies or crimson heads that may or may not get in your way. So, with this puzzle you saw that I did a little trick to get the yellow jewel even though the hawk was blatantly glaring at my character. What I did was I just pushed the shelf and then I climbed and then I hit left, up, up and start mashing X. And the hawk doesn't completely line up and lock you down. It just lets you take it. It's pretty great. Although, you know, I think I made a little bit of a tactical error because I don't even know why I came back here. Oh, right, I think it's because I forgot something. What did I forget? I was debating going back this way, but then I realized that if I stare down a hunter, then he's probably going to attack me before I even get a chance to throw an acid into his face, which may or may not kill him. So I turned back through the room to just go ahead and get the Modisc and go ahead and fight Yawn. You could see in the background that zombie on the ground was clearly a Crimson Head, but we're not going to run in that general direction. Because if we do, then he's going to get up and he's going to chase us. So let sleeping dogs lie, just walk the other way. That homeless person on the bench, let him sleep. He may actually have rabies. This puzzle's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but no matter which solution you get, you always rotate the pieces the same number of times in the exact same direction, which helps to solve it if you know what piece goes where. So, plotting out the best way to clear the rest of Mansion 2, we're going to go back this way, through the dining room, back around Kenneth. You could actually grab a videotape off Kenneth's body if you want. You can view it in the laboratory later. And we're going to equip the acid rounds into the grenade launcher. It's okay if you miss a couple, because you're going to have regular grenade rounds as backup anyway, so... For the Yawn fight, what you want to do is you want to fire 3 acid rounds. After that, it should only take 1 more acid round to kill him. So, if you position as such, once you get around the camera angle, what you want to do is you want to arc the grenade upward. I should mention that the grenade launcher in Resident Evil HD Remaster versus the grenade launcher in Remake was actually nerfed. So the range is a lot shorter. You didn't actually have to arc the acid shells in the original game, but you do in Remake. It takes 4 acid shells to kill Yawn. 5 if you miss. Just hightail it straight for the door. We need to get the other guns, regardless. Of course, I was a complete idiot here. Fortunately, acid shells kill hunters in one shot, but you can see why this was a bad idea. I tried to see if the grenade round would actually clip through the railing like it did. Actually, it didn't even do that in the original game. I'm pretty sure hit-scan guns still go through the railing to hit the enemy, but regardless, what I needed to do was I needed to kill that hunter there, and I figured in favor of ammo economy, I would just go ahead and shoot him there. But of course, I don't know, it was kind of a blunder, but I still made it work. All you have to do is reset the room, and you shouldn't have to worry about that other hunter. Don't need to worry about those 3 shotgun shells either. As long as you don't fire another bullet in this room, the hunter downstairs will not come after you. With that hunter over there, just hug the wall. That's all you have to do. He will behave the exact same way every time. He'll just spin around, screaming at you like an idiot, but by the time you run around him and hit the double doors, you're already a million miles ahead of him. So in general, as long as you head towards the nearest door and only go towards the exit of the mansion from the painting gallery room, then you can get around that hunter in the room there without ever having to shoot him. Still shoot him if you need to, but you don't have to. Don't really recommend it. So we're going to take the Magnum and combine the Magnum rounds here, drop the Modisc, and grab the crank. And then we're going to leave the Modisc and the Last Books Volume 1 and 2 in there. I wanted to make sure that I also have some inventory space free, so I dropped the grenade launcher there as well. Gonna go ahead and unlock this door and grab the shotgun shells and the metal object, and also a stun gun battery, which could come in handy against zombies later. Once again, like I said, just go towards the very first door you see. The only way to dodge around this hunter without taking damage is to exit from the gallery and then hold straight up. And the hunter will always just scream like an idiot and he will miss. Also, I should mention, I actually did not mention this at the very beginning of the video. You've probably been wondering what this is the whole time. Real survival mode is hard mode, but auto-aim is turned off and item boxes are unlinked, which means once you deposit an item in one item box, it stays there until you come back to retrieve it. And you can't retrieve it from any other item boxes. So, because this adds an extra constraint on the game's ammo and health economy, it is pretty much the game's de facto very hard mode. It was also the way that the developers originally intended Resident Evil to be played.
Is that you, Jill?
Is that voice Enrico's?
Yeah?
You're alive!
Stop! Are you with anybody, Jill?
No, but why?
The stars are finished. Someone is a traitor. Umbrella set us up.
Enrico! Traitor? Who?
His name used to be Enrico, but now he is Unrico. I'll get my coat. Grab the crank from his dead body and push around the hunter here. These hunters over here, as long as you head straight for the door, they're going to miss. We'll go ahead and drop the green square crank into the box here because it is no longer needed. Because that one only manipulates the sluice gate. So for Black Tiger coming up, it took me a while, but I found a way to beat him 100% of the time without taking damage. Because Magnum deals the fastest DPS of any weapon in the game, And because there is a spot that always manipulates Black Tiger to take an action that will not hit you, hold down and left. And Black Tiger will either charge, or he'll just spit acid. One or the other. Don't worry about it. Just step into that position, Black Tiger will do something, and just aim and fire at him 4 times. But take extra special care to avoid the spider on the ceiling, avoid the other little spiders that are coming out of Black Tiger's bloated corpse, and especially take care to avoid Black Tiger's corpse once you have killed him, because it gushes a lot of acid as a suicide attack. By suicide attack, I mean it just gushes acid, and if you happen to be in the area once you kill Black Tiger, then it will hit you, and you will probably get poisoned. But if you stood in the one place and fired at Black Tiger from there, then you should not get hit by the suicide attack either. But do what I did and reset the room, then go back in and knife off the webbing. So push that statue 4 times, then use the hex crank on the wall here. Then push the statue on that platform there a couple of times to turn it 180 degrees. And then push it into the alcove over there, and then you should get the piece of the cylinder. By the way, in case you were wondering about some of the enemy names, the giant snake is officially called Yawn by Capcom. The reason it is called Yawn is because whenever it opens its mouth, it looks like it's yawning. I'm actually dead serious, look it up. And Black Tiger is actually a reference to an obscure Capcom arcade game of the same name, where you play as, I don't know, some Viking dude with like a chain whip morning star that shoots out daggers, and he's like running around caverns or something like that. I don't know, but it's a pretty old game. So now that we have the cylinder, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the other crank, and we're going to get rid of that knife that we picked up to slice off the webbing, and we're going to proceed to the next section of the courtyard basement. Once again, just go right behind that hunter. Whenever they aggro, they just scream. They won't actually hit you, as long as you just run straight towards the door. The code is 4231. If you examine the cylinder and you turn it so that the Roman numerals match up, it will say 4231.
Jill!
Barry? Thank God you're safe.
You too, Jill. A noise I heard brought me down here, but I didn't expect to find a place like this. Have any idea as to what might be at the bottom?
There's only one way to find out.
What the hell is that sound? It could
be a person.
Jill, go check it out. We had enough surprises for one day. I'll stay here and secure our escape route in case something happens.
Okay.
So, for Lisa Trevor here, what we're going to do is we're going to choose one of two camera angles for her to spawn at. And then after that, we're going to run the opposite direction. So, the next camera angle, go down those stairs really quick in order to get Lisa to spawn over there, then move in the opposite direction.
Barry! Now that we have the broken flamethrower, we're going to manipulate Lisa's spawn one more time by taking the left junction, and as soon as we see her, just go the other way, pull down the lever, and then run all the way back around, then drop off the flamethrower. And that's Lisa too. You can actually use the very same trick in invisible enemy mode to get Lisa to spawn exactly where you want her to. And then there is the box that contains the stone ring. Those zombies are new after you leave the courtyard underground. In order to get around them, just hold up on the D-pad and run around them. It's perfectly fine. The zombie in the middle lane will 180, but he won't actually grab you. It's 100% consistent. we no longer need to go towards the other side of the premises anymore, so we're going to take the stone and metal object there. And now we have 2 stone and metal objects, which we are going to take with us to the final area of the game. There's a hunter in the area directly south. So we're just going to go ahead and drop off the stone and metal objects here so that we can go back to the save room on the other side. And then we can get the 2 Doom books, the red and the blue Doom books. But now we have just enough space to be able to carry with us the Doom books and the Modisc as well, on top of all the guns and ammo that we have saved up throughout the course of the run. Upon leaving the gallery, the hunter will spawn closer to the door, to the back door of the mansion. So that gives us a straight shot back to the save room. Where we just retrieve everything that we dropped off. And now we are pretty much done with Mansion 3. Just done with the mansion in general. We can go to the final area of the game. So, not much to do here, except just stair skate down the stairs. And directly into the next cutscene here, where we have basically a choice of which ending we can get next.
Jill, you're alive. I was worried, because I thought you were...
Start talking.
Calm down. I didn't want to do it. Believe me, I can explain.
Don't lie to me!
No time to talk. Jill, hand me my gun! Thanks, Jill.
There you go, Barry. So, first up, we're going to push the stone, the bottom right stone down. Then we're going to push that stone over and narrowly get hit. But, yeah, if Barry knocks her over the edge, then you can go ahead and aim down. Lisa actually has like a bit of a set amount of HP, which is really more like a grip gauge at any rate, but you can just straight up knock her off the platform. The normal way to do it would just be to go ahead and push the rocks here, but you can actually skip this cutscene here. Really, I shouldn't have skipped it because, you know, this is just a walkthrough and all. And in any percent speedrun, you would skip it by just blasting her off the platform with Barry's Magnum. But, I just thought I would demonstrate that that was possible, just for shits and giggles. So, Lisa's going to end up in a bottomless pit regardless. Whether she kills herself after her moment of clarity, or if you put her down there yourself. But you know what? Maybe we're the real monsters here. Lisa's story is quite awfully sad, if I say so myself. We should never have to use another item box for the rest of the game. But, I don't even know why I went to that item box. Dodging these guys is kind of risky, so I just went ahead and expended my stun gun batteries to get around them. Just did a thing that I 100% knew that I could do and get grabbed by zombies. I should mention, by the way, that it does count towards no damage to use defense items, so you can get grabbed by enemies and then counterattack them with defense items, and it's perfectly okay to do that in a no damage run because it doesn't cause any actual damage. So, a bit of an Easter egg for Resident Evil fans here. If you beat the game once, and then you type mole, which is the password on this computer in the original Resident Evil, then you get the Tofu voice. Tofu being the extra character from Resident Evil 2, which is a walking hunk of bean curd that just swears in Osakan dialect whenever he gets hit. So we went ahead and decapitated that first zombie there, because when we come back through there, we're going to have a canister of nitroglycerin. The grenade launcher isn't useful for too terribly much anymore, except for flame rounds. I'm not even sure what I was doing, just like waiting there. Maybe I wasn't waiting. I don't think I was waiting, actually. I think I was trying to open the door. That's the only possible reason I could have for just sitting at the door, is maybe I was mashing the button trying to open the door. So, yeah, zombies on the stairs. They vomit. Don't worry about it. Just run straight down. There's a thing of flame rounds in here, but we'll come back for those later, actually. Really, I should have gone through this door first. There's a chimera in here, but as long as you go through the room exactly the same way every time, then the chimera should not hit you. So we'll push those shelves back there. We'll get the shotgun shells, then we'll go through these two vents, and then we'll use the Modisc. In order to guarantee that the chimera follows me through the vent here, what I do is I trigger this camera angle here. Then he just like pops himself right through. just run straight back. It's a safe maneuver. Don't worry about not decapitating that zombie there. Because there is no Crimson Head model associated with that zombie, so he will not come back as a Crimson Head. Naked zombies do not become Crimson Heads. Poor, poor whaling test subjects. The scientist zombies, on the other hand, do come back as Crimson Heads. So I equipped the flame rounds here, hoping that it'll kill this guy in one shot. And it doesn't, so right now I'm in a panic because there is a guy directly to my left. I have no idea where he is, but he disappeared. In the original RE1, flame rounds kill these guys instantly, so I thought it would work the same here. Really, I should have just used the Magnum because that is a guaranteed way to kill these guys before they can run away. Of course, dumbass me, so here I am looking for the other Chimera, trying not to get hit. Because another Chimera could come around any second now and just totally spoil... Oh my god, okay. So we go back to this corner. And just go ahead and finish him off with that last grenade round there. That was one of 2 blunders that I made while I was doing this run. But regardless... I had to come back into this room to do a spot check and make sure that that was in fact the Chimera that I killed, because whenever I reset the positions, whenever I reset the room, then the Chimera's positions will actually reset. So I just wanted to check my bases and made sure that I killed the right one. Because he kind of disappeared for a second, and that could have been the other Chimera, but I just wanted to make sure. Because usually I kill him immediately, but that wasn't the case this time, as you saw. Really, you should just use defense items against this guy, but... yeah, whatever. Just waste a Magnum round. You know, YOLO. So, the path is completely cleared to take the nitroglycerin all the way to the fuel station. Between the original version and the remake, reloading the room does not reset the nitro canister's tension gauge, I guess is the best way to describe what it is. Basically, there's a counter that just increments and ticks based on how fast you run, whether you fire bullets, whether you're getting hit by enemies, stuff like that. And it always stays at the absolute minimum if you're just walking. I didn't feel like running or doing anything like that. If the tension gauge reaches max, then you explode. And that's the end of the game. Because it's nitro fucking glycerin. It's just like in Castlevania 64. Managing ammo at this point in the run is not really necessary anymore, because those are the last standard enemies that you actually need to kill. But, I mean, it's still pretty necessary to save a few bullets for the final bosses. You have to save about 7 shotgun shells for Tyrant 1. And then the remainder of the ammo left over should be enough to get Brad to drop the rocket launcher for Tyrant 2. Chimeras are actually a lot slower than they look. It's only when their bodies are flattened to the ground that they're actually a threat as far as no damage runs go. And cutscenes.
Jill,
Barry,
you could have at least waited up for me, you know?
let's go. Wesker!
Thank you, Barry.
Well, what do you know?
Oh, don't blame Barry for everything. I hear that his better half and 2 lovely daughters will be in danger if he doesn't do everything I tell him to.
Wesker, you're pathetic.
Well, you shouldn't worry too much, dear. You'll be free of all this anyway.
Why eliminate stars?
Believe it or not, that's Umbrella's intention.
You're just a slave of Umbrella.
Smart girl. But I think you misunderstand me. The things you mention are nothing. I'll burn all of them along with this entire laboratory. Barry, go up on the ground and wait there.
Barry.
You gotta love Barry. He must really be afraid of Umbrella.
You and Umbrella took his family, you bastard.
Umbrella? Well, I used some carrots and sticks to cow him, but it had nothing to do with Umbrella. I just used Barry for my personal interests. Though both you and Barry seem to think I was following Umbrella's orders.
What? What are you planning?
I guess it's time for show and tell. It's magnificent.
For the sake of this thing.
You know, I hate goodbyes.
Barry!
Forgive me.
No, you're not to blame. It's Umbrella and Wesker.
Even if it meant my family, I couldn't bear turning my back on my friends again. Shit! Damn it!
Jill and Barry together. In hell.
You want a piece of me?
What? Premature.
No, Barry! You viral cultured freak!
So we'll start by heading towards Wesker. Then we'll pop off 2 rounds. Every time the tyrant pretty much rears his ugly head, just do that. It actually takes,
Barry! Barry! You're okay.
Jill, sorry. That was careless of me. Wesker,
He's gone.
First, let's just get out of here.
It actually takes 6 flame rounds to take down the Tyrant, but because we bungled earlier and we wasted 1 on the Chimera, gotta finish him off with a shotgun shell.
Self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing
Wesker must have set it off. Let's hurry.
Self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all logs. Self-destruct system has been activated. All
So, since we've used all of the Mo discs at this point, we're going to go rescue Chris now.
and releasing all
Go through the double doors here.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately.
Not much left to do in the game except kill the final boss.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all logs.
Jill,
Chris, you're okay.
glad to see you are too. Anything on Wesker?
We'll talk later. First, let's get going.
All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all logs. The self-destruct system has been activated. All
If you head back into the prison cell, not only do you get a box of flame rounds, but you also get a pretty unique camera angle from the CCTV feed.
Come on, let's go.
activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately.
You kind of have to wonder who's on the other side of that camera.
And releasing all logs.
It's a bit foreboding.
Self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately.
I was a little worried that there might have been some Crimson Heads waiting for me.
Self-destruct system has been activated.
So, Jill actually did take a little bit of a stun from the flaming bodies on the ground, but that actually does not count as damage. I actually tested it right after I completed this run
Come on, hurry!
by going into Cheat Engine, looking up Jill's health value, and burning a zombie.
I'm running out of fuel. If there's anyone alive, contact me now or just give me a sign. I repeat, this is your last chance.
And her health did not go down at all, so it doesn't cause any damage to get stunned by flames on the ground whenever you go to burn a zombie. So it looks like damage, but it's actually not.
3 minutes to detonation.
Damn it! We're almost there! Jill, you just get in contact with Brad.
No!
We can make it. Jill, ladies first.
Chris!
Would you let me have my moments too?
All right. We'll rendezvous at the heliport.
For the final boss fight, you want to use the Magnum and the shotgun. You need 19 shotgun shells to beat Tyrant on the heliport.
Jill!
You made it!
But we also have the Magnum as a bit of buffer. Wow, Chris tanked that hit like a champ. Damage to Barry does not count, by the way. Because what I was actually hoping for was for the Tyrant to just grab Barry so that I could unload a full clip of shotgun shells into him.
Jill, use it! Kill it, whatever it is!
And in order to finish off the Tyrant, you have to fire off 2 rockets. The only exception is if the Tyrant grabs Barry. If the Tyrant grabs Barry and you shoot him with the rocket launcher, then you do it in 1 rocket. And that's the end of the game. So that's it then. I hope you enjoyed. That's the full game Unreal Survival as Jill with no damage. If you like what you see, there are a lot more Resident Evil videos on my YouTube page where I do similar things, either no damage or speedruns. So please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also be sure to check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/carcinogenSDA. I stream there 5 days a week. Sometimes more than. Lately a lot more than, actually. So, if you see a little annotation in the bottom left corner saying that I'm live, click it, check it out. Also be sure to follow on Twitter at carcinogenSDA. But that's it then. Thank you all for watching and see you all next video.
Jill, you did a fine job.
What can I say? I'm terrible at saying goodbye.